All right, Tywan, coming in undefeated, but on paper, I could see where some people say, oh, well, this guy's maybe the least experienced of the guy in terms of numbers of the fights. But you're also bringing explosiveness, you're bringing youth, you're bringing energy, and you haven't taken a lot of damage. So what gives you, or do you feel that gives you an edge going into this tournament?
I feel like I have an edge going into the tournament just because of the fact that, like, I haven't taken a lot of damage, you're right. I haven't taken a lot of damage, but at the same time, I'm young, I'm hungry, and then when you think about experience, like, I have experience. I started fighting. My first 2 years were with the Black Zillions in Boca Raton, Florida. So I had 2 years of fighting so many different types of guys and skills levels, and it was sink or swim, and I swam. So I think that experience isn't even a factor in this fight because the 2 years that I had I call it fight jail. I went to fight prison for 2 years, so it made me grow up real fast. So I think that just because people haven't seen me in a war or seen me take damage or seen me in a tough fight doesn't mean I haven't had tough rounds and been in wars and had tough fights. And so I think that it's an advantage for sure.
Yeah, and I think you started right. I think a lot of guys they go to a gym and then realize that maybe the gym doesn't give them enough. You started right from the get-go right into the fire with that one.
Right, exactly, right into the fire. So, I was sparring with guys, Robin Van Roseman, Michael Johnson, Danny Roberts, you name them, Michael Chandler. I've got experience, Jason Jackson, who just got signed. I've got experience. All of these guys, all of these different styles, body types, matchups, Herbert, Gilbert Burns, you name it, Andre, you name all these guys, and I've sparred with these guys, I've trained with these guys, and I don't make too many mistakes. I don't have too many bad habits because when I started fighting, I was fighting with the best of the best. When you fight with the best of the best, iron sharpens iron. So. I had the best coaches, as far as like Neil Melanson is concerned. Neil's my ground coach. It's been my ground coach since day one, and I don't make too many mistakes on the ground, and I have an excellent striking coach, Steve Tracek, who's, he coaches Miocic too, Stipe. So I have the right guys around me. I have the right tools, and I've got just enough experience to go in there and take home this win.
And something else I know you have experience that I just learned about. You have experience coding. You're also a bit of a nerd, if you will. So talk to me a little bit about the whole coding thing, how you got in that. And I heard there was a story about you either maybe getting an opportunity at Google, whether it was an interview or a job. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah. So I started coding like 4 years ago when I finished college. I wanted to be a software developer in college, but wrestling was playing for school, and I transferred from D2 to D1. They were like, your credits, dude, you'll never be able to wrestle if you switch your degree. So I ended up getting my degree in healthcare with the concentration in marketing, and once I finished, I was like, I'm going to teach myself how to code. And so when I was in between training sessions at the Black Zillions, I would learn how to code. Read books, online courses, you name it, I did it. And so basically I have a friend that works for Google. He's a Google recruiter, and he reached out to me, and they've sent me a bunch of different resources basically on how to interview for Google and just different things that I need to know and learn. And basically it's open-ended invitation to come and interview for a job whenever I want. So right now I'm doing my own thing, Right now I'm just building apps that I want to build and learning, and then eventually, who knows? I might hang up the gloves and go live a nerd life.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, because I hear Google pays pretty well.
Pretty decently too. I think they might pay better than Bellator.
And I think I also heard that should you get this money, that I heard that you possibly were thinking about maybe helping start a school to teach other kids to code. Is that true?
Right. So basically what I want to do is that I want to open up a couple of different chains of gyms. So half of the gym will be in martial arts studio, and the other half will be a coding academy. Right? Because not everybody can't fight. Everybody doesn't have that anger, that doesn't have that aggression, or
there literally would be nothing like that anywhere else in the world.
Nowhere. All right. So it'd be cool. That's something that that's the end goal. That's what I want to do.
That's awesome. Well, talk to here you are. You know, before we think about your coding gym, which I think is awesome, and I'll get a membership. Let's talk about your opponent. Where's he dangerous, and what are you expecting him to bring into this fight?
I'm expecting him to bring a lot of aggression. I'm expecting him to move forward. I'm expecting him to throw volume on his feet. I'm expecting him to try to make me shoot. But I think that he's dangerous on the ground to an extent. He's dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. But like I said, I've been trained by some of the best. I've been trained by the best. So I feel like he's average. You know, he's an average fighter in a lot of positions, and he stays active. He's most dangerous off of his back, in my opinion, and with submissions. But it's a contrast of styles. You know, you want to be on your back, I want to be on top of you. You want to throw volume, I want to explode and knock your head off. You know, who can implement their game plan? So I understand why Bellator made that matchup. Clearly, it's an exciting fight. I think that it's going to be a lot of scrambling, a lot of scrambles. It's going to be a high-paced fight. I think it'll be a high-paced fight. But yeah, he's most dangerous probably off of his back. I think that his stand-up is, you know, I've seen him hit a couple guys, rock a couple guys, but I think that he beats guys on what basically because they do things wrong. It's not because he's doing something extraordinary and he's doing something, you know, necessarily right. It's guys making bad reads and get bad decisions. And I think that shows because he's fought for the title how many times, but he loses the fights against the champ because the champs don't make too many mistakes. You know, he beats other guys because, you know, they make a mistake and he capitalizes on mistakes. I think that he's going to attack from his feet. I think he's going to attack from the mat. You know, but I just think that he's a volume guy. I think that he's a volume. He's going to have to prove to me that he can hurt me. And I don't get hurt easily. So he's going to have to prove to me that he can hurt me. So I think that he's, like I said, I think he's most dangerous with volume, not so much power. He's got great cardio. I've got great cardio. I started eating healthy, really healthy, got a nutritionist. You know, the whole 9 yards. You know, usually I would just kind of wing it. I'd eat healthy, but, you know, I like to snack. So, but this time around, I made sure that I was prepared for 3-5 minutes, a long 15-minute fight, possibly a long 20-minute fight if it goes to that. But yeah, he's dangerous off of his back probably the most. But even then, I don't see him as being anything that I've never seen before.
And you talked about you know, not making mistakes and mistakes being the key that sometimes loses fights, but keys to victory for you. What really needs to make sure that happen to make sure you get your arm raised on Saturday?
Just implement my game plan. You know, don't let him get me out of my hookup, basically. You know, I know he's going to try to make me brawl. I know he's going to try to make me panic shoot. You know these things. That's my lack of experience talking. But just not let him, just play my game. Make him play my game. And I think that by making him play my game, it's going to be a long night. It'll be a long night. Like I said, I'm prepared for a war. I know he's a tough guy. I've seen him fight. Whether or not he knows that I'm tough, you know, we'll see. You know, I heard him say that he wants to break my will. Well, I want to do the exact same thing to him. So we'll see who'll break. We'll see who'll break. I've never broken. You know, that's a plus.